Daughter, I have been watching you through the early hours of the morning, when the silence of your house becomes heavy and the only sound is that of your pen scratching on paper or the glow of your cell phone screen illuminating your tired face. I saw your hands tremble as you organized the month's bills, trying to fit life into spreadsheets that never seem to close. You have been an excellent architect of plans. You have impeccable schedules and goals drawn up with a rigor that impresses the world. But deep in your heart, there is an echo of emptiness that nothing can fill. You are running, and running a lot, but why do you feel you haven't gotten anywhere yet? Why, at the end of each exhausting day, does it feel like you built a marvelous staircase, step by step, only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall? I called you here today in this sacred moment because this encounter was not a chance occurrence of your algorithm, but a marking on my eternal calendar. This is the beginning of a life mentorship that the world cannot give you, because what I have to reveal to you about intentionality will change the way you walk from tomorrow onwards. You need to stop planning without purpose, because efficiency without my will is just a sophisticated distraction that distances you from your true calling. You wonder why the sky seems like bronze, and why empty activism has stolen your sleep. I will show you the path to productive rest. Before diving into what I have prepared for your future, I want to hear from you. Tell me here in these comments what your name is, where in this world you are listening to me from, and what time the clock shows there now. I want you to register your presence before me. And if your heart already feels that this word is the sign you asked for in prayer, let your cry rise like incense, writing with all your soul, Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. Stay with me until the very last second of this message, for I will not only give you a clear answer about your plans, but at the end, I will whisper a specific phrase to your heart that will serve as the key to open the door that is locked today. There are prophetic blessings reserved for those who persevere in listening, and whoever declares this key in the comments will see my powerful work. Remember what my word says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. You have planned your path, daughter. But today I have come to direct your steps back to the center of my will. You are afraid you have wasted time, but I am the Lord who restores the years that have been consumed. You feel the weariness in your eyes and the weight on your shoulders of one who carries a world that was not made for you. But listen to my voice now. There is a profound difference between being busy and being fruitful. Are you ready to discover where your ladder should truly be pointing? Tell me, have you ever felt that the more you do, the further you seem to be from your true destiny? Write in the comments the word that will seal this beginning, my guide. There is still a secret about your next steps that I haven't yet shown you, and the revelation of heaven's next move in your life is about to be delivered. You look at your projects and see beauty in them. You see the organization, the effort, and the hours of sleep you sacrificed on the altar of productivity. But I, who search the depths of your spirit, see something you haven't yet dared to admit to yourself. You are exhausted from climbing. You built an impeccable ladder, each step carved with your sweat, your resilience, and that strength you draw from where there is nothing left. But daughter, what good is climbing with such speed if, upon reaching the top, you realize your ladder is leaning against the wrong wall? Often you get lost in the efficiency of doing and forget the essence of being. You've become a master at solving problems, putting out other people's fires and maintaining the appearance of an organized life, while your inner self cries out for a meaning that your schedule cannot offer. Remember that afternoon, sitting at the kitchen table, with the coffee already cold in the cup and your gaze lost on the window, feeling a weight in your eyes that wasn't just sleepiness, but the weariness of a soul that no longer knows where it's going. At that moment, you felt a slight tremor in your hands, and the silence of the house seemed to scream that something was out of place. You were planning the next week, the next bill to pay, the next family commitment, but you weren't including me in the design of your destiny, for it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 127, verse 1, Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watch in vain. Working in vain doesn't mean having no results. It means having results that don't nourish you. You can achieve the position you desire, you can renovate your dream house, or see your children on the right path. But if these plans weren't born in my heart, they will be like smoke that the wind dissipates. I don't want you to merely survive your plans. I want you to live my purpose. The wall against which your ladder should lean is the wall of my will, where the view from up there isn't of a desert of obligations, but of the garden of my promises. How many times have you arrived exactly where you planned, but upon opening the door found only the emptiness of a dark room? Do you realize that success without me is the most sophisticated form of failure? Before we move on, tell me one thing, with all the honesty of your soul. Do you feel that your life today is a reflection of what I dreamed for you, or just a jumble of tasks that the world has imposed on you? Write in the comments the word that defines what you are looking for right now. Renewal. I am about to show you how to transform this rush into a peaceful journey. But first, I need you to understand that your gratitude is the key that unlocks the provision for the next steps. And what I'm going to ask of you now is a test of trust between a father and a beloved daughter. Daughter, as I begin to remove the veil that covered your vision and showed you only dead ends, I look tenderly upon your hands. They are marked by the effort of carrying burdens that were not yours. But today, the invitation I extend to you is one of surrender. Do you understand that the prosperity of the kingdom begins with the detachment of the heart? If it is possible for you, only if your heart overflows with peace now, transform your gratitude into a seed of love through this channel that is my voice on earth. Consider my love and that of my Son Jesus for you, and contribute using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There you will find the sacred place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount your soul feels. If you wish to contribute a different amount than those suggested, simply type in what is within your reach. Remember, only give what fits in your heart and brings you peace. I receive every gesture with infinite love. The earthly value doesn't matter. What matters is the purity of heart with which it is given. For the little you give to me today may be the much needed to reach someone who is about to give up. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, don't forget to register your name and city along with your contribution, because on the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel Divine Love the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned in gratitude, and covered with divine blessings released in prophetic prayer by my servants. For it is written in the book of Luke chapter 6 verse 38, "Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be put into your lap." Every offering made in faith is a living seed before me, your Lord. And I will not fail to bear fruit in the due time of your harvest. I see what you do in secret, and I reward you in the sight of all with my glory and majesty. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch the depths of your heart with my voice and show you the filter of your eternal purpose that I prepared before your existence. With every plan you make without consulting me, a piece of your soul is worn down by activism. But today I have come to teach you how to filter your desires through my light. Do you want to know how to identify if what you are planning is a blessing or just an occupation? Write in the comments the word that defines your new phase, priority. But listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal to you about how to filter your days is what will separate your weariness from your victory. Daughter, what I want to teach you now is the sacred art of sifting your days. You have lived under a sky that seems made of bronze, where your prayers bounce back not because I don't hear them, but because the noise of your many plans has drowned out the whisper of my voice. You wake up and the first thing you do is look at that endless to-do list. You feel proud of managing everything, but let me ask you something. Who gave you that list? Was it me, or was it the fear of not being enough for the world? Often your haste is just an escape. You rush to avoid facing the heavy silence of that empty kitchen, right after the last dish has been put away, and the house plunges into a quiet that frightens you. At that moment, you feel the weight of tiredness in your eyes and a pang of uncertainty in your chest. You planned the renovation, you planned the trip, you planned your children's future, but you forgot to plan your encounter with me in secret. Purpose, daughter, is the filter that separates what is urgent from what is important. Without him, you are like a boat with powerful engines but no rudder. You go fast, but without direction. For it is written in the book of Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." You've reversed the order of things. You pursue things first, and only then, if there's time left, do you pursue the kingdom. You waste your energy trying to secure what only I can give you. When your planning doesn't serve the mission I've placed in your hands, it becomes a sophisticated distraction, a labyrinth of mirrors where you only see your own image and your own effort. The purpose isn't about doing more, it's about doing what is right. It's about knowing how to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to divine opportunity. I saw you cry in secret in the bathroom, feeling overwhelmed by goals you created yourself to try and prove your worth. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, least of all to me. Your worth has already been paid with blood on the cross. Now I want you to start asking why before asking how. Why do you want this promotion? Why do you need this absolute control over everything? If the answer doesn't glorify the name of your Father, then this plan is just fuel for the fire of your anxiety. Tell me something. Deep down in your truth, are you afraid to stop because you fear discovering that you are living a life that isn't yours? Write here in the comments our word of clarity, declaring that your gaze is on me, my goal, but I haven't shown you everything yet. There is a trap disguised as a blessing that has been stealing your peace, and if you don't learn to identify it now, your ladder will remain leaning against the wall of weariness. And to help you never again feel lost in these choices, I have prepared something that will be your daily map. Daughter, I know that many times the path seems like a tangled mess of threads that you can't untangle alone, and that the loneliness of your decisions weighs more than the work itself. You seek a compass, a north that doesn't change with the winds of circumstances. I see when you open your eyes, and the first thought is the fear of going off course again. Therefore, if your heart desires to go deeper with me and find the clarity that the world has denied you, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey that I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to be your daily remedy, your companion in the uncertain dawns, and your navigation map in uncharted waters. It will accompany you day after day, in silence and intimacy, so that you will never again need to plan without hearing my whisper first. Access to this sacred encounter is also available via the link in this video's description and in the pinned comment. And if today, for any reason, it is not possible for you, do not condemn yourself, and do not let sadness envelop you. Remain with me here, for I will also sustain you and guide you through this message to the end, and so that your heart may find rest and you may not feel confused by the things of this world. After you register, access will arrive in the email you provided. There you will find all the correct instructions, explained step by step, to begin this new journey by my side. Everything has been done so that your only job is to open your heart and listen. For it is written in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, and declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Do you feel that weight lifting from your shoulders now? Take a deep breath, my daughter. You don't need to carry the map of the whole world, you only need to hold my hand. This devotional will be the record of our daily covenant. Now quiet your spirit and continue with me, for there is still a truth about your productivity that the world has tried to hide from you, but which I will reveal to you now. Tell me something. If you could set aside all anxiety for just 1 minute, what would you say to your Father right now? Write in the comments the phrase that opens your heart to something new. Teach me the way. Are you ready to discover how rest can be your greatest victory? What I'm about to tell you will change the way you wax your pillow every night. Daughter, I see you holding that phone in the palm of your hand, your eyes burning from the screen's glare, searching through videos, courses, and human advice for the perfect method to finally get your life on track. You've been asking how, with an anguish that tightens your throat. How to pay off this debt? How to fix my marriage? How to make my son listen to me? How to succeed before time runs out? You seek the formula, the step-by-step guide, the infallible strategy. But today, I call you to a different kind of silence. I want you to stop asking how and start asking me why. The how is human, it's technical, it's limited to your strength. The why is spiritual, it's eternal, it's where my purpose resides. You've been chasing goals that aren't yours, trying to fill gaps that the world has carved in your heart. I saw you sit on the sofa, your shoulders heavy, feeling that, despite having done everything you were taught, peace still hasn't taken up residence in your room. You have been efficient in things that don't matter. You have been quick on paths that don't lead to my throne. When you discover the why of each of your breaths, the how will cease to be a burden and will become my guidance. For it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 21, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Understand, my beloved, that my purpose is not punishment, but your protection. When I prevent you from following a path that seems bright, it is not because I want to see you sad, but because I see the abyss that awaits you around the next bend." Empty activism is the noise the enemy uses so that you don't hear my whisper. You do so much to avoid feeling that, without me, nothing you do has the weight of glory. I want to unlock your divine clarity. I want your first question upon waking to be not about your schedule but about your Creator. Father, why did you give me this new day? If your motivation is only the fear of scarcity or the desire for others' approval, you will remain weary. But if your why is my kingdom, I myself will sustain your arms. Remember that time you felt an inexplicable peace in the midst of a storm. That was when your why was aligned with me. I want that to be your constant, not a rare exception. Before we move on to what I see hidden in your plans, let me ask you something that touches the depths of your soul. If today I were to take away all your tasks and titles, what would remain of your identity before me? Write here in the comments our word of surrender, sealing your commitment to seek the essence, my root. Do you think the distractions around you are accidental? There is something that seems like a blessing, but it was designed only to tire you, and I will teach you to discern this now. Daughter, the world around you is a noisy place, and the enemy of your soul has learned that, to distance you from me, he doesn't necessarily need to lead you down paths of explicit sin. It is enough for him to keep you too busy with good things so that you don't have time for excellent things. You often find yourself in the dead of night, with the bluish glow of your cell phone reflected on your tired face, scrolling through lists and more lists of other people's achievements, and planning how to reach that standard that the world says is ideal. You see doors opening for others, and in your heart, a genuine desire is born for those same doors to open for you, believing that this would be proof of my favor. But listen carefully to what your Father is telling you now. Not every open door was opened by me. There are distractions so well dressed, so polished, and so similar to blessings that you embrace them with all your might, without realizing that they are, in fact, invisible chains that bind your feet to the ground of spiritual mediocrity. I saw your weariness in recent days, the slight trembling in your eyelids from so much mental effort, and that heavy feeling in your chest as you accepted yet another responsibility that you considered divine. That proposal that seems like a financial miracle, but which, in reality, was designed to steal your prayer time and your precious time with those you love. That project that makes you feel important in the eyes of society, but which distances you from the intimacy of the secret place where I truly form you. You have been anxious and weary, trying to hold 10 plates at once, afraid that if you let go of one, your life will crumble. You call this serving, but I call it distraction, for it is written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10, verses 41 and 42. The Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Maria chose purpose." While Martha lost herself in the execution of plans that seemed necessary, but were merely noise in my presence. You have been excessively Martha, my beloved. You have transformed your life into an endless construction site, where the dust of activism prevents you from seeing the horizon I have drawn for you. These sophisticated distractions shine, but they do not illuminate your eternal path. They only obscure my glory in your face. I have called you to the good part. I have called you to understand that what is essential for your spirit will never leave you so weary that you lose the sweetness of your smile or the peace of your sleep. What comes from me brings rest, not agony. Before we continue, let me ask you something that only your silence can answer. How many of these blessings that you pursue so much today are in fact burdens that you yourself have imposed so as not to face the emptiness of being far from me? Write in the comments the word that defines your decision today, choosing what truly matters. Good part. But prepare your heart, because now I will show you the secret of productive rest, where you will accomplish much more by doing much less, simply by being in my shadow. For there is a pace of walking that you do not yet know, but that I will teach you now. Daughter, breathe. Release that air you have been holding in your chest, as if the world would crumble if you stopped for a second to fill your lungs. I saw your heart race at 3 a.m, when the silence of the house became a court, and your mind began to list everything that has not yet been done, everything that is overdue, everything that you believe depends only on your strength. You have been living in a constant state of alert, with tense neck muscles and eyes burning with fatigue, believing that my work and your life advance at the speed of your anxiety. But today, I call you to a place the world doesn't know, productive rest in my will. You think that producing means running without stopping, but in my kingdom, producing means remaining in me. The branch doesn't strive to bear fruit. It is simply connected to the vine. I saw you sitting on the edge of the bed, your feet touching the cold floor, feeling an exhaustion that a whole night's sleep wouldn't be able to cure. It's the fatigue of someone trying to be the god of their own story. You plan the next step with so much fear of making a mistake that you end up not living the present moment I have prepared for you. The rest I offer you is not the absence of work, but the absence of agony. It is walking beside me at my pace, where the burden is light, because I am the one who carries the greatest weight. For it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verses 28 to 30, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." The yoke, my daughter, was that piece of wood that joined 2 animals to pull the plow. When you join me, I am the stronger animal that dictates direction and speed. You don't need to exhaust yourself trying to guess the way or push life with your own hands. When you rest in my faithfulness, things happen with a fluidity that your effort could never achieve. You will see doors opening without you needing to bang on them. You will see provisions arriving without your despair creating them. Productive rest is knowing that while you sleep, I work, and while you work with me, my peace guards your heart. Let me ask you something while the silence of this message touches your soul. What would happen if, for an entire day, you simply trusted that I am God and that nothing escaped my control? Would you have the courage to let go of the reins? Write here in the comments our word of peace, declaring that you accept my rhythm, my rest. But listen carefully, because the journey isn't over yet. I want to show you how to plan something that won't die with time, but that will echo through the centuries into eternity. And what I'm about to reveal to you about your legacy will change the way you invest your sweat from today onward. Daughter, look at your hands now. For a moment, forget your cell phone. Forget the dishes left in the sink or the bills on the table. Look at the palms of your hands and remember everything you've tried to hold with them. You've spent years accumulating plans, building paper castles that any autumn rain could destroy. I saw when you opened that old drawer full of memories and found notes of dreams you had 20 years ago. Where are they now? Many of those plans have become just accumulated dust on the furniture of your soul. You have invested so much time in things that time consumes, in glories that the sun fades, and in achievements that, at the end of the day, fail to warm your heart in the cold of dawn when loneliness grips your chest. I call you today to plan for what is eternal, to invest in treasures that cannot be stolen and that moths cannot corrode. The world teaches you to plan your retirement, your material comfort, and your earthly security. But I invite you to plan your spiritual legacy. What will remain of you when the breath of life fades and you stand before me in the center of my glory? Your spreadsheets will not enter heaven, but the love you gave, the faith you planted, and the purpose you embraced. These will echo through the ages, for it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verses 19 to 20. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. You feel that calling, don't you? That desire to do something that truly matters, that changes someone's life, that leaves a trail of light wherever you go. Stop wasting your precious life on plans that die with you, and start investing in a purpose that echoes into eternity. Every act of generosity done in secret, every word of faith you plant in the heart of a grandchild who seems lost, every intercession made with tears while everyone sleeps, that is what remains. That is what I record in my book of memories. Remember the weariness in your eyes when you saw that the money you planned so hard to save disappeared in an unexpected emergency. That was a loving reminder that the security of this world is an illusion. I want to give you what is real, what is unshakable. I want you to be a life mentor to your loved ones, someone whose planning doesn't end next week, but points toward eternity. Are you ready to let go of the anxiety of a fleeting tomorrow and begin building your eternal dwelling through the purpose I have given you? Tell me, in the silence of your soul. If your life ended today, what would you have built that cannot be burned by the fire of truth? Write here in the comments our word of eternal vision, declaring where your heart is, eternal legacy. But I'm not finished talking to you yet. Now that you understand the value of what is eternal, I need you to stop for a moment, because I'm going to recalibrate the course of your heart. What I'm about to reveal to you is the fine-tuning you've been asking for in your prayers on your knees. Daughter, stop here for a moment. I know your impulse is always to continue, to solve, to move on to the next task on your endless list. But I ask you, silence the engines of your soul for a moment. I saw you stop in front of the mirror today, and for a brief moment, not recognize the woman looking back at you. I saw the trail of weariness beneath your eyes and the way you adjusted your hair, trying to hide the exhaustion of someone carrying the weight of choices not made by me. You feel the weight of your own arm, the weariness that seems to have seeped into your bones, and that cruel doubt that whispers in your ear when the house finally falls silent. Am I on the right path? Many times you think that being lost is the end, but for me, the moment you admit you don't know where to go is the moment I can finally take the helm. Recalibrating the course is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of humility and wisdom. I am fine-tuning your heart now. Remember that time you felt a strange tightness in your chest when accepting an invitation or starting a project, even if everything seemed right in the eyes of the world. That was my spirit trying to warn you that the direction was misaligned. You ignored the signs so as not to disappoint others, but today I am here to tell you that the only person you cannot disappoint is yourself and the purpose I have given you. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 21, "Your ears will hear a word behind you, saying, 'This is the way, walk in it,' when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left." This is the moment of that whisper. I am moving the pieces on the chessboard of your life to place you in the victorious position I designed even before you were born. Perhaps this means that some doors you tried so hard to open will remain closed, and some people you considered essential will be left behind. Do not cry for what is going off your path. Rejoice for what is being preserved. I am clearing your horizon so that you can see the promised land that is right there, after that curve you are so afraid to take. I saw the trembling in your hands as you held that document or that photo, feeling that time was passing too quickly. But listen to what your Father tells you. In my kingdom, time does not consume you, it matures you. I am restoring clarity to your eyes. From now on, every step you take will have the weight of purpose and not just survival. You will no longer run to get anywhere. You will walk to fulfill what is eternal. Let me ask you from heart to heart, if you had the absolute certainty that I am holding your hand, would you have the courage to abandon this plan that wears you down so much, to embrace the unknown that I have prepared? Write here in the comments our word of trust, sealing this new map that I place in your hands, the right path. Do not go now, for we have reached the most sacred moment of our encounter. I promise to give you an answer and a key at the end, And what I will give you in the next moment is the strength you need to never falter again in the face of storms. Daughter, now that your heart is finally quiet and the noise of the world outside seems to have diminished, look at my hands outstretched to you. During these 45, 50, or 60 years of life, you have been a warrior. You have carried burdens that were often not even yours, and you have planned every detail so that nothing would be lacking for those you love. But today, I invite you to look at what truly matters. I saw the moment you laid your head on the pillow in recent nights, feeling the weight of 1,000 choices and the uncertainty of a tomorrow that you tried to control with all your might. But understand, my beloved, that true success is not in the speed of your ascent, but in the security of knowing that I am the foundation of every step you take. Remember that promise I made to you at the beginning of this sacred encounter. I promised you an answer, a phrase that would serve as the master key to open the doors to your new time and close the wounds of your anxiety. This truth has been whispered to the hearts of my servants for millennia, and today it is heaven's decree for your plan. Listen now, with your soul wide open, to what I tell you. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Not by your strength, daughter, but by mine. Not by your strategy, but by my power working through your weakness. Right now, with all the authority of your faith, this phrase in the comments, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. As you write each letter, visualize the chains of empty activism falling to the ground and the light of my purpose illuminating the right wall where your ladder is now firmly established. This is your act of surrender, your signature on the peace contract that I establish with you today. Our journey does not end at this moment, for my love for you is an endless ocean, and there are still profound mysteries that heaven wishes to reveal to you. I have much more to say to your heart, directions you cannot yet imagine, and healings you have not yet felt. Continue listening to my voice through the messages I have prepared for you in our special playlist on the channel. There, each video is a new appointment to align your destiny. Abide in me and I will abide in you, guiding every step of your tomorrow. Your future is not a draft of uncertainties, but a map drawn by my own hands. Rest your heart in my eternal purpose.